Welcome to How to Save Your Marriage with Nicola Beer, a show full of tips and practical strategies to repair, rebuild, and strengthen your relationship. If you are currently stuck wondering if your marriage can be saved, or you know you want to save it but don't know how to go about changing it, this show is for you. And now here is your host, Nicola Beer, who specializes in a proven 10-step program to help couples increase the love, passion, and happiness in their marriage in 30 days or less, guaranteed.
Hi and welcome, this is Nicola Beer, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to keep your relationship hot this summer. It's fairly common for expats, with or without children, to leave during the summer months to escape the heat and catch up with family back home. And whilst this family time is important for many, the toll it can have on married life and romantic relationships can be costly. Take Andrew and Lisa, for example, names changed. I was working with them, and the summer often caused a lot of tension and hostility between them. Andrew would stay in Dubai and work, and his wife Lisa would go back to the UK, and she would take the two young children with them. And by the time that Lisa came back in September, resentment had built on both sides, and it was hard to rekindle any closeness because they really had drifted apart during the summer. Andrew said that he felt like he was an ATM machine, that his feelings were ignored and no care was shown for him. He felt that he was sweating it out in Dubai, and he was hurt that they hardly had any communication. And that when they did have a call, Lisa would then pass the phone over to the children and didn't even want to speak to him. And he also felt that the children didn't seem interested. I said to him, what would you like instead? And he said that he wanted to feel appreciated, he wanted to feel loved, he wanted to feel cared for, and acknowledged the hard work that he'd been putting into the relationship and the finances by working so hard during the summer. Lisa also felt disappointed at their communication. She was exhausted running around after the children 24/7, staying in different relatives' houses, was really tiring. And she felt that he was being unreasonable, and he was always moody whenever she spoke to him, and she just wasn't in charge of their schedule because she was living in different houses and moving around, and because they were on a different time zone and the children were on holiday, so they were staying up later, that it was just so difficult to arrange a time to speak all the time. Plus, staying in different people's houses, there was no privacy, and then there was a time difference. So when it was time for Andrew finishing work, say 7 o'clock, it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And by then they were sort of getting ready to do the children's tea, or they were out for the day. And so she found it really difficult. And what they both found difficult is that when they did communicate, it was hurtful and horrible. And it started off badly, and then it just continued. Because once things start badly, and if they're not resolved, then it can just kind of snowball. And this is not a unique case by any means. I mean, I deal with hundreds of couples, and definitely in Dubai, and in my couples that fly over from Saudi and Bahrain and Qatar, they all need to or want to address what is going to happen in the summer. So the reason that I'm talking about it today is there are definitely some things you can do to keep your relationship hot. One of the first things you need to do is set your expectations. What do you expect your husband or wife to communicate with you? Do you expect it to be a daily call? Is it going to be twice a week? Is it going to be on the weekends? Do you not need to communicate? If you establish what you're expecting and work out a communication plan, this is really going to help you to not have a bad week and then let that snowball. And it's also going to help you feel satisfied and loved. So the first step really is to create a communication plan. Unmet expectations are one of the biggest reasons for divorce, and the same applies to summer frustrations. So ask yourself, what is reasonable? One couple I worked with, they decided that they would speak every day as soon as the children woke up around 7 a.m. in the morning in the UK time, or during the breakfast, because then the children could be settled and they could then talk to their dad during the breakfast time. Others leave it open and they say, look, let's just agree that we'll speak every Wednesday and Friday or Saturday and Sunday, and we'll leave the time to nearer to the time. Another couple I work with, they agree at the beginning of the week. So the beginning of each week, they'll say, okay, these are the times and the days that I can talk. This is what our plans are. This is what I'm doing. So really agreeing and being flexible and being understanding is the first step. The second key thing is keep the relationship alive with the 5 A's. Whether I'm helping couples to fix poor communication, a lack of intimacy, or help them to heal after the affair, I get them to focus on the 5 A's. And this is how a couple can really become closer and feel happier in the relationship. And being apart is no different. So you can still focus on these 5. And that's where people go wrong. People think, wow, we're not close to each other. I can't be affectionate. I can't give them what they need. I can't make the relationship good. And actually, the fact that you're apart doesn't mean that you can't make the relationship close and happy. So what are the 5 A's? A number 1 is affection. Affection demonstrates care and support. A lot of couples think that affection is only physical and therefore impossible to do when apart, when in fact you can give affection by sending I love you messages, thoughtful text messages, cards, emails, or sending a thoughtful gift. You can leave voice messages for each other. You can leave messages for each other to find in a suitcase or around the house. And you can also send virtual hugs and kisses through social media as well. Kate said that she made Ben's world when she started posting on Facebook pictures of the children saying this is only possible with you working, Ben, thank you so much. And she also said that she missed him. And public displays of affection like this can go a really, really long way for some people. Another way to show affection can be sharing pictures, sharing images of what you're up to and what you're doing. And it's one thing giving affection, and then you also need to receive it. So if you're on the receiving end of these messages and non-physical ways of showing affection, be sure to reciprocate and be sure to appreciate and be sure to receive them and be thankful for them. Number 2 is attention. A lack of attention is often cited as a major cause of infidelity, as well as marriage breakdown. We need to be seen in our relationships to be happy. If we feel neglected or ignored, it's easier to start to become resentful or respond in kind by distancing ourselves. So for obvious reasons, this is a disaster for close romantic relationships. You can show attention by really listening, asking caring questions, and regularly checking in with each other. So are you paying attention to each other during the summer or during holidays when you're apart? Or even business trips. Some couples, they may be listening to this and they do live together and it's just a case of becoming closer with demanding jobs. The next one is appreciation. When we feel taken for granted, it's hard not to show it in the way that we relate, whether that's through sulking, sarcasm, or being difficult or selfish. The good thing about a lack of appreciation is that it's easy to turn around quickly. All it takes is a heartfelt expression of gratitude and you've made someone's day. Done on a regular basis, it really increases the feel-good factor and can boost confidence. The 4th A is admiration. We all love to be admired, especially when our significant other does it for us. So take time to really admire your husband, your wife, your lover, your partner, and you do this by holding them close in your heart. When you hold them in your heart a few times a day or week, you'll naturally show your admiration for them, and your resentment will also fade. So it has 2 benefits. It strengthens the relationship because you're showing them love and showing them that you admire them, and we all want to be admired, as I said. And also you're clearing any negativity towards the relationship that you may have stored inside. And the chances are that you probably agreed when you got together who would have what roles, who is going to be the caregiver, who is going to be the breadwinner. You probably agreed what was going to happen over the summer and who would be responsible for what. And just because you agreed these different roles at the beginning, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't appreciate and admire them. Appreciating each other for the roles that you chose, you'll really strengthen that closeness and that connection. And then the fifth one is acceptance. The greatest gift you can give in a close relationship is accepting your partner full-heartedly. Warts and all, as the saying goes. We all have times when we are moody, irritable, angry or snappy. And we all say things wrong when we're feeling emotional. In disagreements, things can come out in a harmful way that we honestly don't mean. Forgiveness and loving through tense times increases connection and closeness. So I hope these are useful to you. If you'd like to have more free relationship support and advice, then go to my website and download my 7 Secrets to Having a Happy Marriage, or listen to my other podcasts. All you need to do is go to nicolabeer.com. That's www.nicolabeer.com. So from my heart to yours, have a wonderful week ahead. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to How to Save Your Marriage with Nicola Beer. To book your free Save My Marriage consultation, please visit www.savemymarriageprogram.com/consult. And if you've enjoyed this episode, Nicola would really appreciate it if you could leave a rating and review on whatever app you're listening through, so the show stays visible, allowing more people to get the support they need to increase their love, passion, and happiness.